7 o'clock. Welcome to the Wednesday, September
Too late.
24th, 2025 Pembroke Selectmen meeting. Please join us in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sorry, I'm losing my voice. Please note that this meeting is being made available to the public through a live video and audio broadcast on Comcast Government Access Channel 9 and YouTube channel at Pembroke Meetings LS and is being recorded for broadcast at future dates. Comments made in open session will be recorded. Welcome. Do we have any announcements to start the meeting today?
I do. Just the Memorial Committee, of which I'm a member, would like to extend an invitation for the Select Board to march in the Veterans Day Parade, which will be on the 11th of November, stepping off at 9:30. Unfortunately, we're still trying to determine where we're stepping off from. We were going to be in the Aero parking lot, but they're going to be redoing the septic.
Okay.
So we're looking for a different location. It hasn't been finalized, but I'll make sure that you have that information as soon as possible.
Maybe Treehouse.
That was my suggestion, and then some people are trying to get it up at the Herring Road,
Oh, that'd be another good one.
because then we got the airfield across the street for staging.
What's the route? Do we
It's-
know that yet?
Well, it depends on where we start,
Well,
but we're
yeah.
coming to the
We're still going to end at the...
yes, because we're having the ceremony there.
Okay, perfect. I'm excited. It's the first year doing the Veterans
Yes,
Parade instead.
hopefully it goes well. We had short time when we decided to do it.
I know. Thank you. Anybody else?
I have a couple. I'll wait till town manager's report. That's
Okay.
fine.
Anything else? Nope. We do have a scheduled appointment for the Pembroke Library Foundation, but we're going to actually bump them to after we've voted in the articles for the warrant. So our first item is a board action item for a farm stand permit request at 296 Elm Street.
Is there anyone coming to speak for this?
They were actually planning to be here at the last meeting, and they weren't sure that they would make it. It's a young rental person at a home where an older gentleman has always wanted to do this. So this younger gentleman, he's got to be, I don't want to put an age on him, but he's been talking to him, calling our office since May, got the paperwork to fill out, and then sent it back in. And the older gentleman is very excited. It's on Elm Street, there's an area to pull off, and he wants to do fall vegetables and firewood. So they're like nothing in the spring, very little in the summer, just a little bit of veg in the fall and firewood in the winter. Pretty much the stands you tend to see around town, but this would be a properly permitted one.
Yeah, I think it's encouraging for the town. I just wanted to give him an opportunity to speak if he
Sure.
wanted to.
Sure.
Um,
Yep, his name is Nicholas. No, not-
Nathan?
Nathan, excuse me, Nathan Pawlowski.
Do you want to wait a couple of minutes, Tracy?
We could, if you think that he was possibly coming out.
I don't know.
So maybe
It's past
we'll...
the other gentleman's bedtime. Like, we've gone too
Well, we
late.
can take action. We'll give him a chance to speak if he comes.
That's
How's
true.
that?
Why don't we do that just in case, and then if he does come out, we can have him come up. Anybody have any questions? Is there any discussion? Paperwork is in place.
Yes.
I'll accept a motion, please.
Move to approve the application of Nathan Poplawski for a farm stand permit to conduct vegetable and firewood sales at 296 Elm Street from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. daily or from dawn to dusk.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do we know if somebody's coming out for this next item either? Sabrina, do you know?
I don't believe Mr. Bolter is coming in. This was submitted via the police department, and then Mr. Bolter called in himself. There seemed to have been residual confusion over who approves the use of the town's roadways.
Okay.
So he has put in this request using the same route that Winter Lights used.
Okay.
And it is for a 5K on Sunday, November 23rd.
So this is a discussion and vote on a request for use of the public roadway, Pembroke Boys and Girls Club, for November 23rd, 2025. What's this say? And this is
He has been meeting with the police department. He has procured detail officers, I believe one at each end, and they're going to host the kickoff and the return at the Boys and Girls Club on a Sunday morning where it would theoretically be quiet, 8 a.m. on a Sunday.
And they've not done this before, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And this is a fundraiser for the Boys and Girls Club?
Yes, it is.
Everything's in place?
Yes, it is.
Does anyone have any questions? If not, I would accept a motion.
Move to approve the request from Pembroke Police Boys and Girls Club, Inc., from Bill Bolter, a request to hold a 5K road race beginning and ending at the Boys and Girls Club at 140 Center Street, with the route traveling down Center Street, turning left on Mountain Ave, left on High Street, crossing Barker Street to Allen Street, left on Little's Ave, merging back onto Center Street, and finishing at the Boys and Girls Club, subject to the approval of the Pembroke Police Department.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Next up, we have a vote to approve the minutes of August 20th, 2025, September 10th, 2025, and September 17th, 2025. Any discussion, or do I have a motion?
Move to approve the minutes of August 20th, 2025 as presented.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Move to approve minutes of September 10th as printed.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And move to approve the minutes of September 17th, 2025 as printed.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
I didn't think I seen your name on one of them, Sean, that's why I split it up. It
That's-
might have been on all of
I
them.
don't see my name on any of them.
Wait a minute.
No.
What are you missing?
Will you accept a friendly amendment?
Yes.
Make sure that we accurately capture the
One of these
attendees?
you were missing from, correct?
In September? I don't believe so.
No, no, no. It's a copy over, I think, from,
Okay.
No, he was in all of those.
Why is Arthur Boyle and Bill Bolter in here? These copy and paste?
What? Where do you see
He's
that?
He's joking.
That's such a wiseacre. I think you missed August
I am-
20, Sean. I think you might have been out of
Yes,
town
yes,
August
these are
20.
September.
And the headers for the board got carried over.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So we will correct September 10 and September 17 amended as to include Selectman Keegan's attendance.
Yep, thank you. Oh, I fell right for that one. Next up, we have vote recommendations on all our remaining articles. What do we have left here?
Can we do them?
Please do.
Yeah, absolutely. So, starting with Article 1, there is a change from the initial review. The school department has requested some additional funding, which I reviewed with the superintendent and recommending positive action on. So Article 1 will be $15,000 from free cash for the assessment center for the retiring police chief, so we have a new one via civil service process. And then $452,000 from tax levy for the Pembroke Public Schools. One of the biggest numbers of that is the Chapter 70 number went up, so we're giving them that funding because Chapter 70 is for educational purposes, so.
What was the change?
Uh,
Did you say, what was the change you said?
So the state on state aid, the
Oh, that was the, okay.
Chapter 70, they gave us more money than we had estimated in May.
Oh,
So-
yeah.
So that's it for Article 1.
Do we want to take them one at a time? Do
Or
an
I can
explanation?
do them all, whichever, however you want to do it.
One at a time's good in case we get
Okay.
stalled on one. Move favorable action on Article 1.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Dan, John, 4-0. Okay, for capital funding, the first item is a shared item with the town of Duxbury. They have requested that we participate in treatment for the lower Chandler Mill Pond. We have done this in the past. We are requesting appropriation of $25,000 from free cash to assist in that. We share the boundary with that pond, so it only makes sense. It's similar to what we do with Oldham Pond with the town of Hanson. So
Does that go along with the counties trying to consolidate, helping out with our waterways?
So we are working with the county on this. This is not part of the county program.
Okay.
As it exists today, but we are absolutely working with the county on
Good.
it. So, next one is the library expansion project. We have trust funds of over 1.2 million. This 300,000 allows us to get the project underway and move forward. The project is in design through the schematic and conceptual phases and entering design development. I want to thank the Library Foundation for their funds to get that off. They've donated funds to the town. Well, you accepted them, so you guys know that. And I want to absolutely thank them for their hard work and participation, working with the donors to get these funds for expansion of a youth center at the Pembroke Public Library. Next on the list is the Park Street culvert design and modeling. We have a problem with the culvert that's right on Park Street, right off of Matakeesit there. And so we need design funds to move this along, hopefully relatively quickly. That's why we're pushing it ahead of schedule. So, next item.
Back up on that?
Sure.
On Matakeesit? or-
It's on Park Street.
Okay.
If you turn off of Matakeesit onto Park, it's that culvert right there that runs between the
So that
ponds.
wasn't part of the Matakeesit Street reconstruction?
It was just off, unfortunately. I wish it were part, but it was not. So, next item is also a partially funded item from the town. I want to take a minute and explain this because a lot of people haven't heard about this. We have been working to upgrade our fiber connections throughout the town and all of our town buildings, schools, and waterways. And we have received a grant of $250,000 to do that. This is the 160 requests of free cash as supplemental funding to complete that project at 100%. It will connect the new police and fire station and the new fire station. It will connect schools and our water infrastructure and town buildings. It will help to improve the school connectivity throughout their buildings. And I want to thank the superintendent and our fire department for assisting and helping us participate to make sure we got this grant and move forward. So that is a request for local funding out of free cash for $160,000. So we just got bids back. This is a new change to this schedule for the library roof. They were very, very high. However, the bids are all very consistent and they're $20,000 apart. So we're requesting supplemental funding to complete the library roof of $110,000 from free cash. They're having a problem with the water line at the North Pembroke Elementary. It's safe and it's producing water. However, they've got some issues with it that they want to catch it before it doesn't produce water. So the superintendent has asked for $30,000 from free cash. She has a solid quote for this and is comfortable with this number. She's also asked for $12,000 from free cash for the Pembroke Community Middle School for a new scoreboard in the
Do they already
gymnasium.
have one?
A new one, not a new one.
Oh, no.
So,
I was just trying to picture it.
yeah.
Bill, just in case someone brings up a simple question at town meeting, the previous article gave more money to the schools because they got Chapter 70 extra money, but now they're taking this money out of free cash, and what's the purpose of that?
So we want to structure our capital projects all under our capital budgeting and capital financing process. I've been encouraging the schools to not put capital within their operating budget, but to participate in the town's capital process. The superintendent is now doing that. So these are the requests that she has for the only requests we're pushing at the fall town meeting are requests that we need to do. We do the majority of our capital in the spring, and we're actually working on our capital plan right now with departments that have been for the spring. But these are items that we need to do at the fall so that we can push things forward that are I don't want to say critical because they're not all critical. Like we don't have to do the fiber, but we have $250,000 grant that if we don't fund this, we lose $250,000. Doesn't make sense. So those are the types of items that we're doing.
Yep, that's all I needed was an explanation. If you take a motion, move favorable action on Article 2.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Article 3?
So Article 3 is your article.
I already recommended it.
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
That's
gotta
okay.
go back to my list.
You did 3, you did 4, and you did 5.
Mhm.
So you're
Right, so
moving on to
we're up to
6.
Article 6. Article 6 is the article to join the South Shore Vocational Technical School. The committee has been working aggressively to negotiate that. This doesn't fund anything, it just allows the town to negotiate the contract and move forward with joining and finalize that process and get the votes of the other committees to allow us to do that. If you have specific questions about that, both Tracy and I are on that committee. To join is we need vocational education. This will allow us to explore. It is contingent upon, and I want to make this very, very clear, that the motion will be contingent upon both a debt exclusion override and an operating override in the spring, at the Springtown meeting, and the ballot box.
So, just to be clear, for the board and the public, really, Bill, I just want everyone to understand that the way you just explained it, this enables the town to go into negotiations, and then once we have a firm figure of what the cost will be and any other requirements, we can go to Springtown meeting and ask town meeting to vote to approve it, which then kicks off a ballot question.
Correct.
Okay?
I'll accept a motion.
Move favorable action on Article 6.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, you've already voted Article 7, and I want to note a reset that the Bylaw Review Committee has withdrawn their article, so that will not be going forward to town meeting. There is no article there, so we will be requesting to renumber the warrant. So Articles 9 and 10 will now become the Articles 8 and 9. Article 8 is the Community Preservation Committee projects. These have been voted by the Community Preservation Committee and recommended favorable action. So our recommendation A is $11,000 from the undesignated reserve fund for historic purposes for the First Church to do work on the Sewing Circle building. This is for preserving, rehabilitating, and restoring, but this is actually the roof, correct, Linda? Yes. Yeah. Article B, recommendation B, is to appropriate $20,000 also from the undesignated reserve for historical purposes for the purpose of the Quaker Meeting House. The bids on that came in much higher than what was anticipated, so we need the additional $20K to do that work. Article C is $6,000, again from the Community Preservation Undesignated Reserve Fund for historic purposes. This is for the Historical Society, next to the Sewing Circle, to do repairs for rehabilitation of their building. And then Article D, the final one, is my article. The recommendation D is to appropriate $30,000, again from the Undesignated Reserve Fund for historical purposes, for the Bethel Chapel. We are currently doing work that we had requested last year. It's being done as we speak, and this will be to paint it once all of those other items are repaired. So those are the CPC articles. Happy to answer any questions if anybody has any.
So Bethel Chapel is ours,
We own it. Yeah.
and then the C and B are Pembroke Historical Society, and obviously A is First Church.
Correct.
Did we put in many applications for the town, for any town properties that were turned down?
So, no, we
This
didn't.
year?
We did not. We tend not to do those, try to do those in the fall. We try to do the majority of ours in the spring, which we are working on now through our capital planning process.
Okay. Do we have a list of like CPC projects that have been funded that haven't been wrapped up yet somewhere?
We do.
Do we have a lot of outstanding projects?
Do we have a lot of outstanding projects? We probably have 10.
Oh, wow.
Most of those will be done this fall or next spring. There's one that I'm not sure what's going to happen with, but I can provide this for you if you
I would
want.
love a list
We can
of
do,
what we still
we can do a
have.
complete update of everything and what the status is. That's,
Is there a master list? Well, I mean, I know you can go on, I guess you can search it down on a website, but do we have anything on the town website, a list of any sort of things that we've used CPC funding for, projects or whatnot, that we could
I
share?
don't think it's on the website, but we certainly have a list of CPC projects that we've completed, but it's not on the website.
Probably nice to share.
You can let their chair know,
Mhm.
have them take a look at it.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, a common concern, to Tracy's point, is are we spending town money to help private entities, which overall is a good thing, but is it usurping funds from the town
Not,
projects?
I would argue not at these levels. We
Yeah.
have certainly spent over $1.2 million on town projects over the last few years, maybe even slightly more than that.
I guess my question was,
I was gonna
are
say,
you
remember the
applying
schools
for
and
the
the playground.
CPC funding?
We
Putting
have
in
aggressively
applications?
applied, and we obviously applied for this, and we will be applying a great deal in the spring. There'll be a lot of CPC articles in the spring.
Why not here at this time frame too?
You just can't accomplish them. The ones we're looking at are recreational type of projects that you're not going to do in the winter months, so the money just sits there anyway, so.
I mean, if we have outstanding projects, the money does sit there for
Well,
some amount of time.
right.
And to reiterate, and not to contradict you, Bill, but CPC money is still the taxpaying money. It's 1%.
Oh, I didn't say-
No, exactly,
I didn't
but
say it wasn't.
but no, that's how it's perceived.
However-
Of these private entities, which I have no problem helping because it's historic, because it's the center of our town, and we've helped out in the past, because don't forget with the Historic Society, we've helped out that building many a time with the roof and all the other stuff we've done. I just want to make sure that the Historic Society understands that they have to make sure, even though as taxpayers too, that they thank us for basically helping them out. Because they're private entities and we're trying to help ourselves out too, especially when we worry about next year's budget too. And I know this is a separate fund.
Yeah, CPC can't cross over.
I know, but everyone feels,
general
everyone's gonna
government.
feel the pinch
Yeah.
going forward through the years. So I just wanna make sure they understand that.
It has certainly been our goal to, we changed the CPC procedures where I actually vet and take a look at, and have told people no, basically. If it either doesn't qualify or, it's going to push town projects out of the way. I mean, there are certain things that are out there. There's probably 5 projects out there that people keep coming to us for that we have said no, that we're not.
So it's going
gonna-
for you before it gets to the CPC committee?
Yeah, now they can supersede me if they want and force it, but the CPC committee would likely, they hear my recommendations on it, so.
If no one objects, I'd make a motion as a slate for all of them.
Let's do.
Move favorable action on Article 8, projects A, B, C, and D.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And the last article is, we got them in at the last minute. We settled 3 contracts. So we are requesting that you fund the collective bargaining contracts as we discussed last week in executive session for the clerical unit, for the water unit, and for the DPW unit, all AFSMI units.
Can I ask a question?
Please do.
Will all 3 be made available to the public so that they know what they're voting on?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I can give you the amounts. The amounts will be in the motion, absolutely, yeah, without question.
Yeah. And the contracts are publicly available?
Yes, oh, yeah. It's,
They're on the website.
Yep.
Yep, they've been ratified.
So
The
the
MOAs
MOAs have, the contracts are vetting funding.
Okay. Yep, I just want the people to be able to read it if they so choose
Mhm.
before they go to town meeting.
Any other questions? I'll take your vote. Motion, sorry.
Move favorable action on Article 9.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. We are, next, we do have one other board action item, but we're actually going to move the Pembroke Library Foundation in here. Did you want to come on up?
Good evening. I'm Bob DiMarzo, President of Pembroke Public Library Foundation. And with me is Steve Gurley, our treasurer. I want to update everyone on the library's children's room addition. It's going to consist of 2,700 square feet, including a large children's reading and program room. We'll also have a local history room, an archive room, as well as needed storage and bathrooms. The young adult room will be enlarged by 50% by taking over the trustee room. The trustee meetings will be held in the new history room. There will be 2 private study rooms in the area of the library entrance, one which will also be a podcast area or room. As for funding, about 82% of the needed funds have already been raised by private donations. Majority of that is from major benefactor family who until recently times their name has been kept confidential for the past 10 years or so, but finally it's leaked out. Meanwhile, am I you're on now. Okay, did you get the beginning part? I wanted to, no. Can I start over? Because I want it on cable.
Of course.
Thank you. Good evening. I'm Bob DiMarzo, President of the Pembroke Public Library Foundation, and with me is Steve Curley, Treasurer. I wanted to update everyone about the library's children's room addition. It will consist of a total of 2,700 square feet, including a large children's reading and program room. We'll also have a local history and archive room, as well as needed storage and bathrooms. The young adult room will be enlarged by 50% by taking over the trustee room. That's okay.
Carry on.
You did this, Bill, so they can't hear me, but they hear you.
At least your escalator didn't stop.
The trustee meetings will be held in the new history room. There will be 2 private study rooms in the area of the library entrance, one of which will also be a podcast room. As for funding, about 82% of the needed funds have already been raised by private donations. A majority of that is from a major benefactor family who until recently the names have been kept confidential for the past 10 years or so, but finally it's started to leak out. In anticipation of a town meeting vote of which the Finance Committee, the Select Board, and Town Manager have recommended to approve money, there will be no need for borrowing or override to pay for the addition. It will be paid in full. We'll be starting fundraising for tables, chairs, equipment, etc. soon. Anyone that wants to donate or to dedicate something for a loved one can contact us through the library. What I really want to talk about, though, tonight is volunteerism, community spirit, and donating for a cause. The Select Board, other boards and committees, and many volunteer groups work hard to make our town and community the best it can be. A new group of volunteers has just organized the Pembroke Foundation for fundraising for other town needs. So if you're wondering where I'm going with this or when I'm going to stop talking, I have to go back to Pembroke as it was in 1937, a town of a population of a little over 3,000 people. It was then that Shirley Peterson and his wife Annie moved to Pembroke. They both got involved in the community. Shirley served as town accountant and Annie on the school committee. Shirley joined the military during World War II, and you can see his name right there on the veteran board. They started a family, and a son Alan was born in 1938, and a daughter Linda born in 1941. Alan went to school in the Hatch building and Linda in the building known as the old library. Alan was first valedictorian of the Silver Lake school system. Alan served on the Pembroke Finance Committee for 9 years and as its chairman. He later served as selectman for 9 years. I remember him during my first few years in Pembroke. He was a great selectman. Linda Peterson has served on a finance committee for 14 years and currently the chairperson. She provides strong leadership and is well known and respected in our community. About a dozen years ago, Alan Peterson contacted the Pembroke Library Foundation and said he wanted to help fund our goal of an addition to the children's wing. His sister Linda Peterson joined in with that commitment of $1 million, which they have currently donated to the Pembroke Public Library Foundation. I've lived in Pembroke for over 48 years, and I believe their donation is by far the largest donation in Pembroke's history. It is that generosity and foresight that has made this important addition to our community possible. Alan and Linda's commitment to our youth is overwhelming. In each of the past 3 years, they have funded a scholarship for up to $40,000 to each a boy and girl in both Pembroke High and Silver Lake High. Alan and Linda are proof that good readers become great leaders. They have shown that every one of us can make a positive difference one way or the other. This is the first chance I've been able to publicly thank Alan and Linda Peterson on behalf of the Pembroke Public Library Foundation and the children of Pembroke. I thank both of them. The Peterson name will be proudly displayed in the edition. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Excellent. Thank you to the Petersons.
Thank you, Linda. I really appreciate all the work everybody has done on that foundation. It's going to be fabulous. It's so over-needed. It's been a long time. Next up, we have a vote to issue a stipend to the town manager. This was an item that I tabled last week, or we tabled last week. There was some questions I had that I wanted to check in with to make sure we were moving this properly. So this was an item that was voted on in executive, but needs to also be voted in open session, which is why we're voting on it again today. The vote was to approve a stipend in the amount of $20,000 to a town manager. Do we have any discussion on this item?
If we have a motion and a second, we can discuss it prior to a vote.
Okay, I'll accept a motion.
Move to issue a stipend to town manager as presented in executive session on June 11th, 2025.
Second.
All right, is there any discussion?
This board had a long discussion about retainage of the town manager, his comparables compared to other towns, and it was without him in the room. We discussed it amongst ourselves, and we brought him in the room and had further discussion. This board felt as a majority that the town manager was not being paid commensurate with the duties that he has and with the comparables of surrounding towns and like towns that are not necessarily surrounding us. So we made the decision, after much discussion and much consideration, to extend a stipend to the town manager.
Thank you, Dan. And I was the sole no vote, so I feel like I do need to say that I was and am still a no vote. I would have liked to have seen some issues addressed and improved before I would have been comfortable supporting this. I just feel like I need to at least share a little bit of why I was the no. Did you have something? Did you say?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
If I could add to that, the phrase warts and all came up a couple of times, and we still voted yes.
We have a motion and a second. Did you have?
Ask the questions?
Sure, we can take it. Can you please come up?
Can you get her name?
I will. Hi, could you just identify yourself?
Yeah, Trish Hansen, Elm Ave. So I just heard about this just very recently, like a few hours ago. I was coming home from work, and I just wanted to ask some questions. Because I was looking at some of the, I understand the town manager wants to get comped in comparison to other towns. And I was just noticing, like, when we go to town meeting, we vote on all the budgeted items, per position. And in 2022, it was like you started at 154, and it went up to 159, which is about a 3% increase. And then in 2024 is 166. So there's incremental, for your work you get paid, you get merited. I was confused about the $20,000 stipend because in a 3-year period, it looks like the salary increase is like $36,000. And I don't think anyone had the opportunity, like the town. I think that the budget was agreed on in May at the town meeting, like a 3% salary increase in May, right, on the budget. So then there's an additional. And working in corporate for the last 35 years, I'm a field reimbursement manager, and there are field reimbursement managers in my field in all the big farm tech companies. And every FRM position is not the same. We know that there's a low, a mid, and a high. And it's based on your years of experience, education, and expertise. So when you talk about town manager positions as a whole, it's kind of difficult because our roles and responsibilities are different, because every town, if you think of a town as a corporation, you have, the town leads, you have a corporate vision, you've got the corporate goals, then you've got the team goals or the departmental goals, then you've got the individual contributor goals. So based on what those goals are and how you achieve them, based on a SMART measure, goal setting, I just want to know how you got there, because I know for me, the only time I've gotten a $36,000 salary increase was when I left the company and got a better offer. And even though you work and you strive and you then financially speaking, like economy comes into place, those years you think you're going to get the 3%, you work really hard. However, the company's struggling, there's economic issues, you might get the 2, maybe 2.5. So I just want to see like the metrics wise. I mean, thinking of, we just want to all be the same, from a town manager perspective. Every town manager has different roles, responsibilities, projects, budget items, and I'm just trying to understand how that can be if we haven't really had an open discussion for an additional 20% 2 months after the 2025 increase was granted. Just trying to understand. I'm thinking from my perspective, like, I would never get $36,000, in a 3-year period unless I moved, unless I went to another company, because I've done it. So I just wanted to understand, I'm seeking to understand how that happens. So
your question is how that number was arrived at?
Yeah, and if you want to do town manager comps, my issue is that every town is different. Every town size is different, and every town has a different budget, and it goes to the individual contributor. What are your metrics? What are your KPIs as a town manager? And how are those performances measured annually to justify a 3 to 5 or 6%, or in this case, a 15% salary increase within a year period? I'm thinking from my corporate perspective and, having a discussion about that.
I understand. So, Billy, you had presented this to us. Did you want to present what you shared with us and what you're...
So you're absolutely correct. You're 100% correct. Town managers in most towns are very different.
Mm-hmm.
We looked at 38 comparable communities. 19 are town manager communities, 19 are town administrator communities.
Mm-hmm.
Town administrator has a far less role and responsibilities than a town manager. The town manager in Pembroke is responsible for, does not have an HR director, does not have an IT director, does not have a facilities director. There's 7 total of those positions that the town manager has to do that work, that in other cities and towns, it's not done. They have those positions. There isn't one comp that we looked at that doesn't have at least one of those positions. So when we looked at salaries of those comps, the average salary of those comps, total compensation was $206,229. The median salary was $206,700. The 75th quartile, and for those who don't understand statistics and quartiles, that means that 25% of the folks are above that. So the 75th quartile was $225,139. The 25th quartile, that means that 75% of those comps are paid more than a town manager in Pembroke. Was $186,200. The town manager in Pembroke was $168,027.
Mm-hmm. So
the board does an evaluation of the town manager,
mm-hmm.
And there were things that were highlighted during that evaluation where the town manager is performing very well, and there were 3 things that the town manager basically they wanted more improvement on.
Mm-hmm.
We put together a performance improvement plan, 2 sections, and one was goals and objectives for the higher levels, which we pass down to our department heads and meet with them, do performance evaluations, which we're currently working on. We're behind on that, to be honest. And so that those goals and objectives get passed on, and then a program improvement plan on those 3 areas, and I forget what they are, but I probably have them here.
was the PIP developed this year?
It was developed the last fiscal, yes, so it was developed within the
2025.
structure,
And
yes.
so
Yeah,
the
we're in fiscal 2026 now. 2025 is over.
Oh, did that end in
July 1 is our fiscal.
July
Yeah.
1? Okay, I'm
Yeah.
thinking my
Calendar
company's,
fiscal.
my
Yeah.
company it starts
So
October
same
1st.
calendar, different fiscal.
And
Right.
the other thing that the board was presented was, I believe there were 6 current positions that were available for town managers, and all were over 200K.
So since the PIP was developed and you worked on those 3 items, was that reevaluated and that you met that measure?
Has not been yet.
Okay,
We're
so
s-
you haven't met them, because I'm evaluated in the corporate world on KPIs, key performance indicators, and we do like our personal goals, our team goals, and then our corporate goals. And if everything aligns and we all do very well, and the company does well, then we're gonna get like a little bit of extra money. So,
But the company here can never do better than 2.5%. It's not the
Yeah.
free, it's not the
yeah,
free
well,
market.
no, I mean, for the last 3 years, I've
It's
got
just
maybe
not an
2%. I got maybe
apples to
2% because
It's-
we were dealing with a lot of economic hardships. And we have in Pembroke as well, because with all of our projects, we, cost in labor went up, and all of the cost of our overall wonderful projects we've had, community center and everything. But those have an impact. So, I don't know, I just was curious about how you got to that, because now it's like a 191, 195, but you haven't met the KPIs right now. So you haven't actually met the 3 items or the goals. So how does that justify?
Ms.
So
Mariano, do you wanna-
the PIP was developed as part of us saying yes to a stipend. We will only say yes if you develop the PIP. The PIP was developed as part of us to get us to say yes.
Yeah.
And there are some members of the board who didn't think the PIP fulfilled all of our requests and thought it fell short. But the effort was made there, and it's still evolving and getting better. So that was, this stipend was contingent upon developing the PIP, not once the PIP has been developed and the KPI can be realized, then you'll get it.
Don't you get the reward after you do the work, though? After you meet the goals?
It's not linear.
Outside
It's not
outside
linear.
the scope of this conversation.
I will share
Yes.
some things. I have some personal frustrations that I feel the community doesn't recognize the work that all of our staff do. I'm going to share something. I will likely not participate, but because of the timing, I just can't. We have been selected by the International City and County Managers Association as a high-performing community, and they want to do a special program for us for their annual conference in October. Unfortunately, I can't be at that conference because it conflicts with our town meeting, so I'm electing not to do that. But I do want to share that outside of this organization, we are incredibly well-respected. If you look at our neighboring communities and the finances in our neighboring communities, we're not great. We're not great. We're likely going for an override in the spring, but we're better than them.
Yeah. I mean, I'm speaking from personal experiences. Our municipality taxes have gone up. The waste management or recycling every year over year, and those are KPIs to me. That's a reflection of leadership. And when
That they're going up, they're contracted. They're bid.
Well-
They're bid. It's
Yeah.
the lowest you're going to possibly get in the
I guess
municipal world in
I'm using
Massachusetts.
like the recycling audit as a particular one because I had spoken at a previous session here. And I was really interested in that audit. And I was looking forward to getting the analysis. I looked everywhere. I called town hall. I looked on the website because I really like Pembroke's website because it gives a lot of good information. Couldn't find it. I couldn't find the justification why our waste management went up $30 last year and then another $40 this year. I couldn't find the data. Like, show me the work. And I just couldn't find that.
It's all contract. It's all bid contracts. It's all companies that come and where our tipping fees, we're on a long-term tipping fee thing with those folks, which we're far less than, our tipping fees are still $30 a ton less than many communities in Massachusetts because we negotiated 5 years ago for a long-term contract. Our other contracts are for hauling, and it is what it is. You see what's going on with Republic. It's just not, I mean, their numbers are blowing our numbers away. So
I was just interested in seeing the results of the analysis, and I didn't get that, so I was a little concerned about that.
I will look, we're working with the Recycling and Sustainability Committee on that, and I will look to see what the status is of that.
Okay. And I have another question. Where would a $20,000 stipend come from? Like, I'm just like, where did that come from? Like, I didn't understand that either, so I'm just asking.
Well, that is a good question, because I know originally it was presented as it was going to come from free cash.
No, it doesn't, it can't come from free, well, so here's where it came from. It came from two places. It came from remaining funds within the budget that weren't spent, which has already been appropriated for that purpose. And it came from an appropriation at the special town meeting in the spring, is where, as did all of our contract settlements come from.
So just to be clear for the board and the public, the stipend has been paid out prior to July 1st, and it was voted on at town meeting.
Correct. The additional cash needed for that was voted at town meeting.
Yeah, just, a lot of people aren't clear on that. so I
Oh,
wanna
in
make
May?
sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that additional appropriation of $20,000 was voted on in May?
It wasn't a
Right.
full 20,000 because we had cash.
'Cause it was
There's
a-
no
it was a-
reason to appropriate more than you need. So,
Yeah.
but
right.
the remaining portion that was required was voted on.
And
Yes.
just to clarify one other thing, so it was voted on in executive session, and it was this board's, collectively, all of us, we discussed it in executive session, and the procedure is to come out with the next meeting to vote it in public session. It did not happen. We're
Right.
rectifying that tonight. That's where the timeline
Yeah.
difference is.
That's why I wanted just to learn a little bit more about the
And
process.
in how we knew to even bring it up to discuss in public and to vote on it in public, is we were cleaning up executive session meeting minutes, and as we were going through multiple, there might have been 10 of them, we got to that meeting, and said, wait a minute, was I on vacation the day we voted this in public? They go,
Didn't
that
happen.
never happened.
Didn't happen.
So we're
Yeah.
rectifying that tonight by voting it in public.
Okay.
Can you just re-explain, did you say that we voted this on the May meeting?
So we voted to cover the stipends that we had been discussing for everybody, because I'm not the only one. We settled contracts.
But yours was in June.
You voted it in June, yes.
Right.
So the funds were available and appropriated via those discussions that we had.
Would that have been explicitly line itemed in the booklet, like as an asterisk, like there's a stipend, like?
Well,
I
it
don't-
wouldn't have been an asterisk, but it
Okay.
would have said select board and town manager salary budget, yes.
Okay. Okay. Well, thank you. I just wanted to I'm just seeking to understand how everything
thank
works,
you.
but I was just a
And
little
you're not
concerned
the
because
only-
I'm like,
You're not the only one that has questions on this subject, and
Yeah.
it makes it even more, it raises an eyebrow that we didn't do it in public right away, and here we are, a couple months later, and we're trying to rectify it.
yeah.
It doesn't make it perfect, but
Yeah.
that's the next step. That's,
Okay.
we had to do the right thing as soon as we found out about it. We were going to do it last week, but this board still had questions on the procedure of what to do. So it took us an extra week before we voted on it.
Okay.
But we haven't voted yet. We're in the middle of discussion.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Tricia.
Appreciate it.
Karen Flashman, School Street. You said you are voting on it now because you just found out about it. What did that mean?
So, me and the rest of the board
Yeah.
came to the realization that it wasn't voted in public. It was town meeting came, summer came, holy cow, we never voted on this. And the reason we took a second look at it was, we were requested to approve executive session meeting minutes, which you do maybe once a year, so they stack up. So we had a stack of executive session meeting minutes, and that one caught our eye, and we said, we didn't even dispense with all the issues on this. Could you go through them? This one's still a lawsuit, can't let that one out. This one's about a land sale that hasn't happened yet. This one's been settled, we can let that part out.
So it's
And-
just like a housekeeping
Yes.
situation
Yeah.
that you found? Okay.
Yeah.
I have a couple other questions because I know you and I had a discussion about library salaries and whatnot back on the 24th of April. And at that point, you and I had some words up in your office, and you were very, very adamant that the town was, and I quote, so far in the red that there was nothing that could have been done with salaries at the library. And you have also said that you are not able to retroactively pay people at the library because that was something that was not done. So this, to me, also seems like it's a bit of a retroactive payment if you weren't just getting a pay increase. Is it not a retroactive payment? And if it's not, then why isn't it to the same amount, like, as in just a raise? It's not like, so what is the difference of a stipend and a bonus and bringing you up to par? Because even this doesn't now come up to the same amount that your salary going forward is, so why is that number different? Can someone justify the math for that?
Actually, my salary going forward is less than that. My salary this year is more
I
than
know,
last
but
year.
that's my question.
But
Why
less-
is the?
Because it was a one time.
I know, but what makes up that number? Because if your salary before plus that number doesn't equal your new salary, then where's the difference? What is that difference? Does anyone have the math on it up here? Like, who ran the numbers?
I don't understand the question.
I don't understand the
I don't
question again
understand.
either.
Okay,
Say it one more
so,
time.
so if Bill's salary that you are stipending to bring him up to par, right,
Okay.
is
71.
the last year plus that amount is not the same as what it is going forward.
Are you
There was a
asking where the-
one-time, there was a one-time.
No, I understand.
It doesn't add, it's not added to the next
But
year.
if it's to bring him up to par with other things in
Right,
town.
like, so it doesn't bring him up to par forever, is what you're saying? Just the one
No,
year?
no, I'm curious as to why it's bringing him up to a higher par than he would be going forward. That doesn't make sense to me. That math isn't mathing. Because you're saying you're now going forward, you're going to be making less than what that stipend plus your old salary was. Yes? So why is that stipend higher than what would bring you up to meet what you are going forward? What is making up that numbers? How did you arrive at that 23,000 and change or whatever? Who has the math on that?
It's
Who
not-
ran the
it's
numbers?
not-
Solve
it's-
this
it's not a
problem
math problem.
by explaining the funding source difference. I think that is a disconnect here.
I'm sorry?
It's
Yeah,
not
I'm-
general operating money that paid this, so
Right.
maybe that's the conversation.
Well, one thing, if I understand your question on how I'm following it, it's not necessarily a math problem, it was a negotiation.
Okay.
It was a negotiated amount. You know, he
Did you go back and forth on that a bunch?
We had
Not
discussions on it, yes.
Okay, so is it relevant to ask who brought this up in general? Was
Well,
Bill
town
like,
manager
hey,
did.
I want a stipend?
Town
Or were you guys
Mm-hmm.
like, I think you should have a stipend?
Yeah, yeah.
Came from the
Okay.
town manager, it was presented to us.
It's-
Okay,
it's a-
and would
it's-
that
it-
qualify as retroactive pay since it's
Well, no,
being
because.
paid from the calendar year going?
No, it was
previous?
within, it was in that same calendar year. Because it
Okay.
was dispensed before, it's fiscal year, because it was dispensed before June 30th. So the calendar year, the fiscal year was still in play.
Okay, and why, I'm just a little bit confused as to the difference, I guess, between a stipend and a bonus then. Like, what is the logistical difference there?
I'm not sure what the exact difference is, other than semantics, or is
Yeah,
there?
it's semantics.
I would call
Okay.
it the same thing.
Stipend is for doing, bonus is for being,
That's a
and
nice
this
way
is
to put it, I
retention,
suppose.
which is yet a new third word. But it's a retention bonus.
Okay. Is a retention bonus exclusive to the town manager position, or are there other people in the municipality employment that get retention bonuses?
So a retention bonus is a situation where you have such a discrepancy and so many jobs available that are $40,000 more and readily available for staff. I mean,
Okay.
we have similar situations which we addressed through collective bargaining and which we will be addressing in other departments.
Okay,
We do salary surveys. We take a look at where those salary surveys are. We look at what employees are leaving, and where we can't hire and fill vacancies.
like
And
custodians, for example.
Custodians is a very good example. So are some of our lower-level clerks with specialties, where there's specialized training involved. For that, we've lost 4 of those folks, 1 to the
Mhm.
state, doing basically the same work, and 3 to other communities, doing basically the same work for more money.
Okay,
Um,
okay. And so we did have money available when you told me that the town was so far in the red that we couldn't do
So
anything above
it's-
giving people a 1% raise in other municipality positions?
So you got a raise, everybody got a raise.
Yeah, no, a 1% raise, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Um,
But you got a 7.5% raise and a
that's-
stipend, so I'm just trying to,
But that's where the comps were. I mean-
but they're not, because they gave you a packet of comps showing that
And
everyone,
we looked at your comps and we looked at our comps, but it's not appropriate to discuss here,
Okay.
unfortunately.
okay, so this is a special circumstance with some special math that not everyone voted on, that
No.
then there was a big delay.
No,
No?
that's not true.
Okay,
It's not.
okay.
Well,
I
Who's
should have
that- who's
interrupted
everyone?
you.
It's fine.
Please wrap,
She can-
you'll,
She has
keep
a right
going,
to say
but
what she wants. It's
Okay.
I know, that's fair.
That's fine.
She has a right. I would invite you to come visit me.
Yeah.
If you want to solve problems and we have comps that are wrong, we need to have that discussion.
Okay. Could you point me to where in the warrant for the spring meeting this was discussed?
Yeah, I can give that to you.
Okay.
I don't have it in front of me.
Sure, when should I expect you to give that to
I
me?
need a couple of days.
Okay.
I have
The spring warrant,
Yeah,
special. It was in the special.
Yeah.
That's fine. We
you
can.
want me to email it right now? It's online.
Okay. Yeah, you
I
can.
know,
go
I
ahead.
was just
So
curious
it's on-
what section
it's on
would it
there.
be in?
It's
because I
under
don't
this,
remember
it's
seeing
under the
anything.
special town meeting article.
Yeah.
And where we filled,
Transfers, Article 1.
yeah, I think it's in one.
Okay, I can look on one, thank you.
Yeah, and I will say, to follow up with a couple of the speakers, this board, during this discussion with the town manager, is cognizant of the fact that other town employees, contracted town employees, and even union employees take this as, they take umbrage with it, because they want what they want during negotiations, and if they don't get it because we say we don't have the money, that's a real question and a real concern. And we understand that. We're cognizant of that viewpoint and respect it, but also understand that we had a decision to make in the use of the term a retention bonus is quite accurate. And I think we did the right thing during that discussion, and we're in the middle of a vote right now, and a discussion of the vote, and I will feel confident in voting yes for it once again here in public.
Did you have something?
Something very short, and it's really just the logistic.
Just identify
legal-
yourself, please.
Helene Flashman, School Street. Regarding open meeting laws, my understanding, what I've read in questions, is that discussions about employees' job performance, merits of bonus or salary increase must be conducted in open session. So the discussion for this and the vote was done before, in the executive session, it was paid out. You're only now having a discussion about it. So is that an open meeting law violation? You've probably spoken to counsel.
So, if I may address it, no, the answer is no, because they did have a performance evaluation in open session prior to which it initiated this discussion on my part. That was held a couple months before this was done, so it's not necessarily, these were negotiations which are a legal topic of executive session.
So discussion of the bonus can be an executive session.
It's
It
negotiations.
doesn't have to be public. Okay,
It
that's not
does
how I
have to
read
be
it.
public.
I believe you. I'm not-
So
I'm not arguing.
the where we erred, and I will never, this will never happen again, because I'm going to be very
It
careful about.
happens to every
It
board
happens
at
all the
some
time.
point.
It happens all over the state, all of school committees everywhere. I mean, it happens all the time, but it shouldn't, and we should have caught that. But they did a performance evaluation. They had a discussion in public session of the performance evaluation.
I don't remember, but I'll have to check that. No, I'm not arguing, just.
And then we went, and I requested that we take a look at where my compensation was.
Yep,
Thank you.
it was absolutely a mistake on all of our part not to vote on it in open session, immediately after we had a discussion on it. We're trying to rectify that now. There is a fairly significant amount of time that's passed since the perfect time to do it and now, but all we can do at this point is to take that next step and vote on it in public.
Did anybody else have a comment? Does anybody else have any further discussion here? All right, well, we have a motion and a second, correct?
Yes.
We have that
Yes.
recorded?
Yes.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
No? All right. Moving on. Town managers report.
Okay, I have, I guess unfortunately for timing, a number of items this evening. I just wanted to note that we are doing some hydrant flushing tonight at Corporate Park, so if you live in that neighborhood, we don't have a lot of residences there, but we do have one large apartment complex. You could experience some low water pressure and some other things. It will bypass. It's going to be relatively quick. It's going to start at 9 p.m., but should not last long. I just wanted to note that the town clerk's office is going to have limited services tomorrow and Friday. The staff is at a professional training event, a conference, which we encourage. So there'll be people there, but limited services. So, property tax exemptions, I just want to note, if you're over 65, if you're blind, or if you're a surviving spouse, if you're a surviving minor child of a deceased parent, if you're over age 70, or if you're a disabled veteran, you should likely take a look at property tax exemptions. The property tax exemption application period is open. The assessors are accepting those, and they're happy to assist you with that process. I want to note that there is a forum sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce tomorrow evening. It's titled Workplace. However, it's going to mostly focus on the South Shore, joining the South Shore of Oak Tech. It is from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Pembroke Public Library. I want to note that this Sunday, the 28th, from 10 to 1 is Public Safety Day. If you're interested in public safety or the equipment that they use, or have children that want to play on the trucks and meet the firemen and the police, it is 10 to 1 at the community center. So I also, as I do many years, I am super excited about the Pembroke High School soccer team. They have started the season incredibly well. Unfortunately, they lost their first game to Marshfield, but haven't lost a game since. So it looks like they're headed for another playoff season. I personally have attended numerous games in the last few years, and they have a game tomorrow at home at 4 p.m. Now I forget who that's against, and I didn't write it down. I think it's Hingham. I will likely be there. I'm going to be at the Forum at 6, but I have some time between when the office closes, so I'll go try to catch the end of that game. So I encourage everyone to get out, support our high school sports. It's a great event to bring the youngsters to. And these guys are, the soccer team especially, is an incredible team. So yeah. My congratulations to a great start. Keep it up, young men. So.
Monday is the public safety building.
Oh, so yeah, from Monday afternoon to 4:30 for the fire substation at Monroe and School Street is the, you should be getting formal invitations, but you knew about it. Is the groundbreaking ceremony, and then at
Which
6.
one is it, what time?
It's 4:30 at Monroe and School, and 6 p.m. at the Washington or Route 53 in Barker.
Thank you.
So,
Very limited parking.
yeah, it's limited parking. Pay attention to the police. There will be police details at both events. So.
That's everything?
That's it.
Okay. Do we have any old business? Do we have any new business? You guys have updates? Do we have any further community comment? Anything from the board?
When's Public Safety Day?
Sunday,
Sunday,
10 to 1.
this coming Sunday. Oh, I thought that, never mind. That's everything? Do we have a need to enter executive session?
We do.
Oh, we don't have Rich. Who wants to be clerk today? John? No? Go ahead. Thank you.
Move to executive session pursuant to provisions of General Law, Chapter 30A, subsection 21-6, to consider the exchange, lease, or value of real estate if the chair declares that an open meeting may have detrimental effect on the negotiation position of the public body, 660 Washington Street.
Second.
And we will be returning to open session for a vote.
Thank you. That's a motion and a second. All in favor, John?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Sean?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. Well, welcome back to the Wednesday, September 24th, 2025 Select Board meeting.
We're back in open session. Is that right, Madam Chair?
We are, thank you.
Make a motion to accept the purchase and sale for 660 Washington Street as presented in executive session.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Present, not voting.
Perfect, thank you.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.